Hi people, it's me Anja. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. Today's video will be my thoughts and feelings on the TV show adaptation of Shadow and Bone. I figured I should make an entire video talking about my thoughts and feelings on the show because I've been eagerly anticipating this adaptation for the past 3 years. So here we go. I orchestrated some questions for me to answer so this video would be somewhat organized. So without further ado, I will be spoiling the entire show as well as some of the books. So if you haven't seen the TV show yet, I would highly recommend not watching this video. So yeah, here we go. The first question that I wrote down for myself is, which character was your favorite solely from the show? I feel like a lot of people would answer this question with Milo, who stole the show, but I would say that honestly, my favorite character solely from the show is probably Jesper. I feel like Kit Young embodied Jesper so well, and even though I wish that Jesper had been casted by a darker skinned black actor, I still think that Kit's acting is so good and so lovely. I'm so excited to see Jesper's dynamic with other characters in later seasons, especially with Wylan. I'm so excited to see Jesper's dynamic. It's going to be so cute and so wonderful. So yeah, my answer is probably Jesper. So anyway, the second question is, which character did the show ruin the most? I would probably say Zoya. I know that Zoya was mean and rude to Elena in the books, but she wasn't racist. I mean, true, in the books she had no reason to be racist because Elena's race in the books was ambiguous, but still, like, I don't like that they made her racist. Like, they could have made any other character racist and not Zoya. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't really like that, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, especially since Zoya is also Asian, and I don't really like it when, like, they show racism between two people of color. You know what I mean? Because, like, people of color should show each other solidarity and not, like, you know, the opposite of solidarity. Anyway, the third question is, thoughts on Elena being half Asian in the TV show? So even though I love diversity and I love it when TV shows normalize diversity because I think that that's really important, especially in Western TV shows, I thought that them adding her being Asian only to add a storyline about racism was unnecessary. I understand that racism towards Asians is very timely and very, like, relatable for a lot of Asian viewers, but with that said, it's also quite triggering for some Asian viewers. So that's why I think that it was unnecessary to add to the TV show, especially since Mal is also supposed to be Asian in the TV show and he didn't experience any racism, so that's suspicious. So I didn't really like the way that they dealt with it. I hope that they continue with future seasons to, like, expand on that. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that in future seasons they continue to write about it and not just, like, introduce it for the first season and then in later seasons just sweep it under the rug as if it didn't happen at all. You know what I mean? So I hope that they do a good job with what they introduced in the first season. So yeah. The fourth question is, do you think that they represented Jesper's sexuality well in the show? So if you didn't know, if you only watched the TV show and you didn't read the books, Jesper is a canon bisexual character, and by the way, so is Nina. So anyway, answering the question, I don't think that they represented Jesper's bisexuality well in the show because I feel like the scene really had sex with a stable hand. Like, if you only see the TV show and you don't read the books, it's going to come across that Jesper is gay and not bisexual. I think that Lee Bardugo wrote the perfect coming out scene for him. If you didn't know, in the books, in Six of Crows, Wylan asks him, so do you only like boys? And Jesper's like, no. Wylan asks Jesper, so do you only like girls? And Jesper's like, no, not just girls. And I think that the scene right before Jesper had sex with a stable hand, when he and Inej are, like, looking at the stable hand, and Jesper asks him if he's flirting with the stable hand, I think that Inej should have asked Jesper, okay, do you only like boys? And Jesper could have answered, no, not just boys. So it could have been like the reverse of the scene that happened in the books. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I felt like they did not represent Jessica's bisexuality well in the TV show, because I feel like if you only watch the show and you don't read the books, you're gonna think that Jessica is gay and not bisexual. And I think that it's really important to emphasize that he is bi. So yeah, as for Nina's bisexuality, I felt like they didn't represent it at all. You know, like not even well, like they didn't like do it at all. And I feel like I don't really have that many like qualms about that, because the only character that Nina had any interactions with in the show is Matthias, who's going to be her love interest. So sorry if that's like a spoiler. Anyway, moving on. The next question that I wrote down is, are there any elements of the show that were better than the books? There was one singular element about the show that I think that they did better than the books, and that is Elena's collar. So in the books, Elena's collar was kind of described as like this diamond dog collar. At least that's how I imagined it. So having her collar be completely different in the TV show, and having like the stag literally poke through her collarbone, was so much more like emphasized how dehumanizing that is, and how horrible and gross and disgusting and, like I said, dehumanizing that is to be. You know, like her collar literally grossed me out so much in the TV show, so much more than it did in the books. I hope that in this TV show they will continue to emphasize how awful the Darkling is, and how like dehumanizing and horrible and disgusting and evil he is, especially when they do that scene in Ruin and Rising where he makes Elena stare at what he did. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that like I'm excited to see that happen, because that's going to be such a heartbreaking scene, but I just really hope they really like push that the Darkling is so awful. Maybe I'm just saying that because people shipping Dark Elena triggers me a little bit. I'm not going to say why that triggers me, but it kind of does. So anyway, I don't really understand why people are shipping Dark Elena simply because Ben Barnes is attractive. First of all, Ben Barnes is not attractive at all. No, he's not. Archie's more attractive than him. Literally anybody in the cast is more attractive than Ben Barnes. I don't think Ben Barnes is very attractive, clearly, which may be the most controversial thing I say in this video. But anyway, sorry, there was a plane that just flew over me, so sorry for that background noise. But anyway, Ben Barnes is not attractive. Do not ship Dark Elena, because the relationship is so abusive, and Rebel Dugo literally wrote it in model of an abusive relationship that she went through. So I can tell that like it's probably triggering for her to see fans ship them. You know what I mean? So anyway, moving on. I said that like me answering questions in this video would make this video more organized and would prevent me from ranting, but clearly that didn't happen. So anyway, moving on. The next question is, thoughts on the headcanon of Elena being queer? For those who don't know the context of this question, Jessie, who plays Elena, was asked about the possibility of Elena being queer, probably because Jessie is queer herself, and if you didn't know, Jessie uses multiple pronouns, so they use she, they pronouns. So anyway, moving on. The answer to this question is, I don't really have any qualms about Elena being queer in the TV show, as long as they handle it well, and personally, as long as it didn't get in the way of Endgame ship Melina, because I love Mal and Elena so much. So many people have been saying that the show made them Melina stans. I've always been a Melina stan. I have shipped them from the very beginning. I love the relationship so much. I love their dynamic. Like, childhood best friends to lovers is the superior romance trope. I love them so much. So essentially, I don't have any problems with Elena being queer in the show, as long as they handled it well, and if it doesn't get in the way of Melina. But honestly, I don't know if I completely trust them to handle it well with the way that they've handled Jesper's bisexuality, like I mentioned before. So yeah. Anyway, the 7th question is, favorite cast member? My favorite cast members are Amita and Jessie. I love them. I mean, how can you not? When they look like this, they're so pretty and just so cool. Like, Jessie is literally a human sunbeam, literally the same way that Elena is. Like, they are so wonderful. Amita is so wonderful and so lovely, and she plays Inej so well. She embodies Inej so well, and Jessie is such a wonderful actor. They are so talented, and I'm so excited to see where their characters go in future seasons. So yeah, the next question is, what do you want to happen in season 2, if there is a season 2? So in season 2, I want them to follow the plot of Siege and Storm. Honestly, like, I don't know how the Six of Crows characters are going to be incorporated in season 2, because I feel like if you follow the plot of the books and the third season follows the plot of Ruin and Rising, I feel like there's a point where the Shadow and Bone characters are retired in some way. Like, I know that, like, Zoya appears obviously in King of Skulls and Rule of Wolves, and spoiler alert, Elena and Mal appear in Rule of Wolves as well. So I feel like the Shadow and Bone characters need to be, like, retired for some period of time for, like, the plot of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, because since Elena, like, fakes her death at the end of Ruin and Rising, you know, since Six of Crows is set 2 years after Ruin and Rising, there needs to be some sort of understanding that, like, Elena isn't there anymore, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense. I really don't. But basically, I hope that season 2 follows the plot of Siege and Storm. So yeah, but I don't know how the Six of Crows characters are going to be incorporated in it, because I do think that they should, like, go more into the Six of Crows backstory, and I hope that in the 4th season, if there is a 4th season, they follow the plot of Six of Crows and they really go into the heist and all of that. And I feel like if, like, the 4th season was only the Six of Crows characters, it needs to be only the Six of Crows characters, only in Six of Crows, because I feel like with the heist, it would make it so much more confusing if they went back and forth with different timelines. You know, especially since Mal and Elena are supposed to be, like, living their own lives. You know what I mean? Like I said about, like, Elena faking her death at the end of Ruin and Rising. Anyway, I'm digressing. Essentially, I want season 2 to follow the plot of Siege and Storm, and I don't really know how they will incorporate the Six of Crows characters into that. But, like, I trust them to do it well, because in season 1, I felt like the alternating storylines were incorporated well. So, yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts over the Shadow and Bone TV show, and I answered all of the questions that I wrote down for myself. Essentially, I would rate the show 7.5 out of 10. I am excited to watch season 2. If there is a season 2, I hope that there will be, because I'm so excited to see Nikolai and Wylan and, like, all of the other characters that weren't in season 1. So yeah, I do recommend the show. I don't think that it's the best TV show adaptation that I've ever seen, but I do think that it's good. I just don't think that it's great, and I didn't fall in love with it the way that everybody else did, because frankly, I thought that some of the romantic relationships were kind of rushed, with the exception of Melina. So anyway, like I said, I rated the show 7.5 out of 10. It started raining in the middle of this video, so I apologize for that. This video is probably going to be very chaotic, but welcome to my channel. Anyway, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the duck emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video.